Will Marcus Fromm have moved on to a European side or some other bigger Asian club like Just Another Betrayed Brit and Wanted MK1 are wanting to see in the comments? Let's find out. Hello, my friends. Welcome back in. It's year 23 and 24 of our experiment. Couple things. First off, new patron on the channel. I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm sorry if I've said this wrong. Abod Kwasmi. Thank you for your support and joining the patronage. We're currently at 53. My goal for the end of the month is 55. We're so close to getting there. Thanks to everybody for your support. The other thing is, I know we're in the managerial part of this series for sure, and I'm sure some of it, maybe there's stuff over here that you can see that it says something about our players that or our managers now that I'm unaware of because I haven't really stared at it. But I want to know, now that their playing careers are over, who do you think the highest potential ability player was? Right when we first started the series, I put in the range, right? So there was always going to be one player that had like the outstanding attributes, or the potential, I should say, for the outstanding attributes. And then, so who do you think that was, based on the way their careers have gone? And who do you think got to the highest current ability? So those are two different things, right? Who started with the most potential? They may not have reached it. And then who do you think had the highest current ability at any point in the save? Because what we're going to do as the managerial parts of their career starts to wind down, we're going to go back through and look at every single year to see what their current and potential ability was at the time that I recorded, because I have the save file. So I want to know in the comments today, who do you think those players are? All right, good. First up today, we've got Greg Baxter of Baxter, Broadway, and Bros, and apparently they've just shut it down. They just shut it down. They couldn't get any more players to come be part of the agency. And I can't remember who it was in the comments said, like, I'd love to think that Greg became disheartened with football. He's like, he built up all these players, made some good cash on it, and then they all left him. And he was like, I just can't take it. He's heartbroken, and he just gives up on football, which is kind of tragic. First up today, we've got Juan. He has landed a new gig with Coquimbo United. All right, 13 working with youngsters. I think he's a decent looking manager. Let's find out. Okay, he's got a contract through the end of the year. All right, they are in the Primera División B de Football in Chile. All right. So let's see here. They sacked their last manager in April. Right, and he was only there from October to April. That's not great. They've gone through a bunch of managers. Goodness gracious. This 1 year and 119 days is a lot. I mean, obviously back here, 7 years, 190 days, and they sacked the guy. I bet they're regretting that now. Erwin Duran, they sacked, and then they have just churned through the coaches. Okay. So Juan, April 24th. We'll have to see how, I'm guessing the season wasn't going well. So Juan is now 1-1-2 in 46 days. So, from that standpoint, 25% is not great, but it's only 4 games. So it's a little early, little early, I think you could say. So let's go back and look at October to April. See what's going on with the club. Okay, so they hit a bad run. They signed somewhere in here. I can't remember what day it was. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so in the last 5, they win 2, they draw 2, they lose 1. Not bad. And then coming into this season, they fired the guy, sometime in April 14th, something like that. They only won 2 games. They drew 3 games. They lost the rest. Okay, so not great, to be fair. Okay, right. And then, what was it? May 14th, I won 1-2. Take a look at the schedule here. Okay, so a draw to kick things off. And it was, they had a 16-day window. So he comes in the middle of that window, kind of settles things in, starts working on, his system. And then they beat Union San Felipe, and then they lose in the Copa Chile second round to a team in the same division as them. So, okay. Well, I mean, they're in 15th, and the team that beat them was in 7th, and it was, they did score some goals. I mean, you could argue. So, all right. Interesting season from February to November. So, I guess that's a decent amount of games. We'll have to see how it turns out for old Juan here. Let me go back to him. Just click the back button. And he's got to. So let me check one more thing. They finished third in 2039, 12th last season. That'll get you sacked. But I mean, a very up and down type situation. So the last time they were relegated, that's a relegation, right? 2026. Okay, it's jumping. Okay, 2026. It took them until I guess they won promotion back in 2028. I was like, wait, 2026 to 2029. That's different. But so they get relegated, and they were down for a couple of years and came back. But they've kind of bounced up and down. So as long as you don't get relegated, I mean, you're currently 15th. That's their worst non-relegation finish. Okay, okay, right. All right, we'll have to see if Juan's there when we hop forward a year. Grant Corrigan is still with us. That's the first thing when I click on it, I'm like, okay, they're still here. He's with Dundee United in Scotland. Okay, it was a Forest Green that didn't go very well. Okay, he's got a contract until 2042, so he must have just signed, right? No, they gave him a 2-year deal. So the January transfer window, give him a 2-year deal. I mean, he's really got some good attributes, right? Studying versus Continental B, 3.6K a week. Let's find out what happened with Forest Green. Okay, so when would he have left? It gets confusing, doesn't it? September. He got sacked in September, 9/29/2040. So in the 2040 season, they got relegated. So, I mean, to be fair, they hadn't won a game aside from EFL Cup games, 2 of them. I mean, okay. But whoever they brought in only won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So is that really Grant's fault? I mean, 5 wins is more than none in league play. Yes, fair play, sure. But it wasn't like they came in and they won 12 or 15 games. All of a sudden they, apparently not a squad that was ready for the championship, I think is a fair assumption. But that's just me. So they go back down, and then they finish this season in 17th. So that should tell you something about the quality of the squad. Am I defending Grant too much? I don't think I am. I think that's valid. It's like, you only won 5 games total with the new guy, and then you finish the next season in the league below in 17th. Like, that is very bad. Very bad. Very, very bad. Okay, so he gets signed by Dundee United in it was January 12th, something like that. Let's just go back here. 2041, not 2040. Right. And they finished 10th. January 12th. How are they doing? They've not great in the Premiership, to be fair. He comes in after this game. He comes right back in. They beat Ross County in the Scottish Cup 4th round. Draw their first 2 league games. Lose. Okay, they get a win. 1, 2, 3 wins. But to be fair, a good number of draws. And they had 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. Oh, that's December 5. 6 wins, 7 wins before he comes in. Okay. Yeah. Craig Story. Ha! I signed him in my Sterling Albion save. That's hilarious. I was like, I know that name. So he's only won 31%. You can see there. 7, 7, and 8. But that's not terrible. Okay, previous was Craig Story was 50, 11, and 16. So that's a tad bit better. But did they? That was with them winning they got relegated, winning promotion back. I'd say Grant's doing okay. They're the up and down team. It's not like they've been a dominant first place finish in the Premiership, right? Like, they're doing all right. And they're not technically stuck with him, but they are stuck with him until at least the end of next season. So, do you think Grant can turn it around here in the Premiership? and avoid relegation. I mean, 10th place is, to be fair, I'm not saying this was all Grant's doing, but 10th place is their best finish that we can see. You know? All right. Let's, yeah. Let me, contract year. At least he's getting a license out of it, hopefully, assuming he can pass. Jordan Bradford is still with us, and he has a gig. He's left Persewa Wamina and gone to Mitra Kukar. Okay. This looks a little bit better. All right, let's see what happened here. Okay, they got, no, not relegated. 12th place doesn't look like relegation to me. What is with the line being here and then, that's interesting. And then he's gone, okay, he's gone to Mitra Kukar, 2040. Looks like they got relegated in 2040, but how did they come, but how do they come back? What? Did the teams below were they not promotable? He's won 60% of his games. I'm in the way. 6-3-1. They finished 16th in 2040 from Liga Super Indonesia. Okay, I see. They are now down in this L2. It just took me a minute. It's confusing when the graph doesn't continue down there. So, okay. So he comes in November 12th of 2040. And they've kept him, which is... I mean, he only played 10 games, so surely that's not his fault. Right? They won their last 2 games. So, okay, so they're having an awful season. They end up getting relegated. He comes in, they win, they get the new manager bounce, and I guess in an attempt to try and not get relegated. And then, since then, they've only lost 1 league game. I mean, they did go down a division, but I mean, you could always, you take what you could get, you know? Oh, gosh. I'm trying to find the league above. Oh, they came really close with those 2. If they brought him on a little bit earlier, he got 2 out of 2 wins to get him 31. They were on 25 points. They needed a couple more games to try and survive. Oh, confusion. Why is there different phases? I don't want... Okay. All right. That's just okay. I guess there's 2 groups, but his former team is even on points and ahead on whatever the sorting is, goal differential or goals for, or it couldn't be goals against, so it must be or head to head. So his former team almost went out of the top 2 divisions, and his current team that went down, but he's bringing them back. I got a good feeling about this one. I got a good feel. I think we're going to see a promotion. Jordan Bradford, he's 6-3-1. That's a pretty good record. Do you think Jordan Bradford pulls it off? Look at all the screens we've gone through. He's studying for a National A license. Yes, good. Okay, let's find out what happens next. 1-year deal. Brutal. Jonathan Needham, kind of as expected, has retired. Thanks, Jonathan. Mike Vitek is still with us. He's not giving up hope, even though he hasn't gone after any licenses besides his National A, even though he's been unemployed for like 3 years. Not ideal. He wants to be a manager. Mate, I should have made you where you would be a coach too. That would have been real good. That'd been real nice if we could have made you a coach. Do you think Mike disappears? I kind of think he does. He's not had a chance in Northern Ireland. Hazel Helton's had 2 jobs since we last saw him. Or he's on his second. Okay. He's with Stade Lavallois. Right. Let's... Yep. left of his own accord. Okay. Positive. He left in July and went straight to, is it Kane? I don't know all the leagues. Hired and then sacked in 2041. Pretty quick. And then he takes a little bit of break. 4 months later, gets signed. Okay, so let's go back here. 7/31/2040. 2040 season. They finish in 9th. And then whoever came in after him, wait. I can't keep this straight. He left in 2040. Okay. So whoever came in after him finished in 9th as well. So it wasn't like a huge, increase. He won 40% of his games, 18, 13, and 13. Not great, not terrible, but I mean, based off, he's kind of average in the middle of where they've been, not to the heights of 3rd, but also not to the depths of 15th. So kind of just average in Ligue 2, if that's what we're going to call it. Going back. Okay. And then let's see. He gets signed. He goes straight there. July 31st, 2040. And he lasts 6 months. January transfer window, 13% won. 3, 9, and 10. Not ideal. Next manager, only 23% won. So, again, is it really his fault? They got promoted from Ligue 2 to Ligue 1 and then got relegated. But it's not like the next guy in charge did an amazing job. They still got relegated. Now, were they relegated? Okay, 3 games won. The next guy won 5. And they each had approximately 6 months. 10 games lost, 13 games lost. 9 games drawn, 3 games drawn. I think you could actually say that Hetland did a better job. Because he won or drew 12 games out of 22. And Pierre here won or drew 8 of 21. So Hetland did a better job. I think I don't think I'm being a favoritist, if you will. It's a big jump to go up to Ligue 1, and they didn't make it. So, all right, so that happens. And then May 13th, Lorient in Ligue 2. Now they're looking to make a push, but that's probably at the end of the season, right? May what? Like very very end of the season, he gets a win and a loss, and they haven't started the next season. So hard to tell. But overall, right? They were that up and down team for a long time, the yo-yo team. Then they kind of made it, and then they've dropped back down. So they finished 5th. Can he be the manager that gets them back to Ligue 1? And this guy left of his own accord. I'm just kind of curious because he was doing all right. They definitely jumped up. And he goes to SC Bastia, which is a team that got relegated. That's interesting. Serves you right, Augustine. Marcus Fromm is still with us, and as you guys noted, he did go back home. He went back to his team, the Young Lions. Eventually, that was pointed out in the comments. I had forgotten that was his starting team, I think. Looks all right. I'd like to see a little bit better, but he's working on his Continental A. He's got a contract until the end of the year. Okay, progress-ish. Okay, head coach of the year. That was last season. Okay, it's the middle of the season. So I was like, they didn't win the league, but they're in the middle of that, right? So currently, they are first. So things are going well. They're doing, as you do. Let's look at his record overall. 65% won, 54, 20, and 9. Not bad. They are dominating. And I think someone said in the comments that they are an under 23 side and typically like bottom of the league. So can we go back and look here? Going back. Okay, so all the way back to 2003 down here is the last one. So 12th. They're all in the league. So, but 10th, 12th, 10th, 9th, 9th, 8th, 7th. Something happened here, I think. 2021. Because they start 4 second. Like, that's kind of interesting. That's a really interesting tidbit that someone knows that kind of, I think, brings some nice flavor to the save, or the experiment. So thank you for that. All right. So yeah, they've not lost this season. I mean, that's all right. A little shaky at the end of the season. Maybe rotated in some players, right? Could cup games bring some youth prospects in, something like that. I don't know. We're just spitballing here. But, right. I'd like to see Marcus take a bigger job. He's on contract until November at the end of the season. Let's just look. Who's in charge of Singapore? Hassan Omar. That guy's terrible. Not available until... Is he working for free? Surely not. He's horrific. His contract's up to the end of the season. What do you think? I mean, they've maintained where Marcus got them. What do you think? What do you think? Is Marcus Rahm going to be the Singapore national manager when we come back in a year? Let's find out. Paul is still with us. He's still with us. Come on, Paul. Continental A. Decent looking, but I mean, the managerial stints have not gone well. Got sacked in July. Won 31% of his games, 7-3-12. Next one has won 40% of games. So that's 50% more games won, to be fair. 15-5-12 versus 7-3-12. Yeah. Okay, so 2039 to July of 2040. Oh, that's not what I want. 2039, they finished 11th. They finished 12th in 2040, but it had not gone well. They'd only won 2 games, 2, maybe 3, whatever, when they sacked him. Next guy comes in. Let's ignore this result and gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins and a couple draws to finish out the season. This run right here probably saved him, right? If you go back and look, how close were they to bottom? 30 points versus 24. Yeah. Not losing there at the end of the season. The board was probably happy. Sorry, Paul. The board was probably happy because what is that? 1, 2, 3 points, 9 points. Big difference for sure. But again, I don't think Paul's a terrible manager. He just needs to find the right situation. Will he find that right situation or will he disappear? He's got a Continental A. He's got a 1.5-star reputation. Surely somebody takes a chance on him. So this is what it sits like at the end of year 23, my friends. Got 2 free agents. We got some interesting stuff going on with Marcus potentially. Will Juan still be in his job because he's currently in the relegation playoff zone? Will Grant get a renewal with Dundee United? Let's hop forward a year. Let's go. Here we go. I'm just going to take you straight there. Let's look for Juan. Oh. Okay, still employed. Contract through the end of the year. They must have survived? Let's look at his milestones. That would tell us, wouldn't it? So many. Okay, 1 in the playoffs. That looks like the relegation playoffs. So they survived. Let's look here. They finished 15th. So that means they went to the... Wouldn't that mean that... Wouldn't that mean that they were in the relegation playoffs? Oh, only by 2 goal differential too. Assuming that's how the sorting happens. Okay. That's the promotion playoff. Is it because... Oh, I wonder if it's because... Premier Division B, Segunda Division playoff. I wonder if because the Segunda Division isn't a league that you can load, if that's why it doesn't show up on the schedule. But that's kind of strange. You'd think it would still, like, you let me know in the comments if you were playing with this team. Just not making sure it's not like up here or something. Wouldn't you still have to play those games to avoid getting relegated? Like if you were playing that as a save and you were Juan in this situation, wouldn't you have to play the games? Or is it just like, yeah, those clubs don't really exist, so congrats, you stay up? That seems a bit strange to me. And maybe it could be user error. I could be doing something wrong here. So a year and 46 days, he's coming up on, aside from the 7-year guy, he's coming up, he's like third most tenured coach right now. He's about to be or fourth most tenured coach. He's about to be the third most tenured coach if he can get past Pedro here, who didn't win a single game. My goodness. 0-3-7. One is 10, 12, and 18. Not great, but it looks like it's a tough spot to be in. So that's weird to me. Starting off, okay, let's look at the end of the season. I know I'm going to go into all kinds of detail. You may not care. So they win, after the Copa Chile loss that we saw, they won, 4 games, and they drew 3 games? 4-3 and something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 3, and 8. Not great, not terrible, but you won 4 games and drew 3. Now, haven't won as much to start the season, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draws. So what was that? 1, 2, 3, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 3, 7, and 5 is not bad. Like, that's turning some of those red donuts into yellow donuts. Stick with me. And that finds them in 16 points. In 12th, was it 5 points clear? So just turning some of those results. So again, this may be looking too much into it. Maybe these are easier, but they've played everybody by this point. So, okay, let's get knocked out of the Copa Chile so we don't have to worry about it. We can focus on, his former club. Focus on not getting relegated. But they've got 16 points with 15 games. That's better than 28 points in 30 games by just a fuzz, right? Like they'd have, if they had the same number, they'd have 32 points, which would put them right about where they're at. So is that an indicator that Juan is turning into a decent manager? Like, is he going to keep him up and not be in the relegation playoffs? I'm curious he gets a bonus if they avoid relegation. Okay. And he's studying for his Continental A. I'm really curious now. What happens with Juan? Will he still be with this club? Will they continue to rise up? Grant is no longer with Dundee, but he's now with Hearts. Okay. So what does that mean? Looks a gem. I'm just saying. Good looking manager. 15.25K a week. Is Grant going to be like our managerial, like the one that makes the peak of the managerial stuff? He left of his own accord. Okay, so he did not get sacked. December 10th, and they sign him. So let's go look at December 10th. December 10th, 2041. Okay, right, 2041. They finished 10th. No, December. Okay, they finished 6th. Okay, all right. I know we can look at their individual stats. I'm just kind of curious. December 10th. So this is the last game. 1, 2, 3 wins. I wonder where they were in the table at that point. Oh, quite the bit of the bounce from the caretaker / new manager. Oh my. Oh, okay. Yeah. New guy came in, did a good job, I think you could argue. To be fair. That's interesting. They lost to Hearts, and then he gets signed by Hearts. Ended up winning 30% of his games, 13, 12, and 18. Only less than a year in charge, but he didn't get sacked, left of his own accord. Previous was 64%, but they got promoted. Okay. And then David, caretaker manager won 33% of his games, but didn't lose. 1 and 2. and 0. And then new guy comes in, goes 8, 7, and 6, 38%. So pretty much the same win-loss ratio, or, as Grant, or win ratio, I should say, 30 versus 38%. I understand it's not exactly the same. But then Grant goes to Hearts. He's following Craig's story around. That's odd. 9, 9, and 6, 37% won. Okay, let's look at previous is 45%. Previous, 45%. 35%. Okay, there were some that left out their own accord. 46, 62, probably because they got no, they won the championship. Ooh. Right. 45%. They've sacked the last two managers with a 45% win ratio. Grant's currently at 37% on 9, 9, and 6. And they've done this within a year of the other ones. Okay, so December 10th. That's so odd to me that it's like, hey, we just beat you 3-1. You want to come be our manager? Okay. He comes in though, and literally 2 days later, they have a Europa League game, and they win that one. Yeah. Now they got knocked out of Europa League, even despite winning that. But and then 2-1 and 1 in finishing out the month. I mean, they only lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the rest of the season. The rest of them are wins and draws. Could you argue it could be a little bit better of a ratio? Sure. Let's go take a look to see. Okay. This is where it splits. Okay, 51 points is how they end up. That's very interesting to me. Previous seasons. Okay, they've been in the top section, 69 points, 74 points. They won the league, 83 points, 80 points. What has happened to Celtic? My goodness, 66 points, 68 points. So the board's got high expectations, and I think you could say last season those expectations were not met. So I guess this season is the real test. Can you get them back into that top half, and then at least top 5, right? Don't finish 6th. Is that kind of what we're hoping for with Grant? Jordan Bradford still with Mitra Kukar until the end of this year. So, okay. So, right. And I think these were 9s last time. We're up to 10s. Continental B still, is that still, or was he working on Continental C last time? So, let's see here. Lots of signings. Goodness me. They won the league. All right, Jordan Bradford takes Mitra Kukar to the top. Come on, game. I know we got a lot of leagues loaded. I just need you to go down. Oh, that's current stage. Oh, working on it. What does this mean? Champions. Why were they champions? Promoted, qualified. Maybe these 3 qualify for some sort of promotion chance. It doesn't matter. They got promoted. He brings them back to the top division. It was a little nervy, but they're there. And then currently, they find themselves in 11th. So not only have they gone up to the top division, but they are 5 points clear of this crazy playoff situation. I think that's pretty good. Started off the season with 3 wins in a row, and then a bit of a dip in form, but they came back. It's kind of up and down. So that explains all the signings, right? So they come in, they finish out the season, they go, wait, first phase, what? Oh, that's the groups. And then this is second phase. This is, I guess, the promotion thing, right? So they beat his is that the former team? I think so. Yes. And then they beat these teams, and that gets them up. That clears mud for sure. Absolutely. But Jordan, 46% won, 22, 13, and 12 got promoted, and they are currently looking okay in terms of finishing, hopefully not in a relegation spot. I think that's exciting. We'll have to see how it ends up, in the next episode, but that's all you can ask for, really. Mike Vitek has retired. It's as we expected. He got 2 chances at management. It didn't go well, and then, Aesel Hetland must have the loyalty of 0. It's crazy. He's got a new contract with Lens, I don't know, for another season. Lorient. Come on, game. He got sacked. He comes in and they get relegated. And they must have already been like in the relegation zone, right? Because that's maybe not. Okay. Right. 3-7-2042. Yeah, so the previous guy got them to 5th. Aesel comes in and they finish 9th. So 3-7-2042 is here. Next manager didn't do that much better, to be honest with you, right? Like, there's a lot of green dots before that, and then only 2 green dots, 2 wins to finish out the season. So I think you can make the argument that, again, not exactly Hetland's fault. He won 50% of his games, 17, 6, and 11. New guy is only won 25% now. Not as many games, 2, 3, and 3. But I'm just saying, I think you can make the argument, poor choice by the board to sack him. Okay, so, right, 321. Let's see how they were looking. Overall, he's won 9% of his games. Oh my, 1, 6, and 4. Not what you want to see. Okay, 321. Were they already in a bad spot? So this is his first game. They don't win a league game to finish out the season. But they did draw 6 games. So 0, 6, and 3 to finish out the league. But before that, they had only won 4 games. So it's not like a massive underperformance. And how many draws did they have? Okay, so he has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draws. Before that, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draws in the whole rest of the season. So I'd say that's like 3/4 of the season. I'm just saying maybe it's not his fault that they got relegated. Previous guy only won 30% of the games, and that's with a promotion. The season before, comes in May, gets promoted or comes in March, gets promoted in May, and then struggles in Ligue 1. They bring in Aesel. He doesn't save them, I guess. And we'll take a look to see how close it was. Not. I mean, okay, you could argue 9 points, you win a couple games at the end, but wasn't a lot of time at the end of the season, so he wasn't able to save them. But they also haven't sacked him. So maybe they were kind of expecting it. They're like, hey, let's bring in a new manager. We give him a 2-year deal. Even if you get relegated, that's fine. I'm sure there's some clause. Oh, no clause about getting relegated. He couldn't save him, but I've missed the 20 motivating. I've just seen the 20 motivating. I think he's working on his Continental Pro. I think Aesel's going to be one of our ones that goes a long time. Now, he just needs to figure out how to win some games. Maybe playing a 4-2-2-2 DM is not it. I'm just saying. You might consider something else. We'll have to find out next episode. Marcus Fromm, still with Young Lions. They've given him a contract until the end of next year, not just this year. Please be in charge of one of his favorite clubs. Ooh, that might mean he doesn't go anywhere, right? Just a hunch. 2041, they won the league. They won the cup. He's the head coach of the year. Blah, de blah, de blah. Acquired his Continental A. Can that get him to being in charge? Who is it? Let's go find out. Who's in charge? We don't need to look at they've won the league again. They're bossing the league forever. Okay, Hassan Omar is signing an extension to the end of this season. You would think maybe Fromm was like, man, I can't juggle 2 teams at once. But 4-5-1-1-1 is the stats from a managerial standpoint. And right over here, you have a country legend with 12, 10, 8, 9, 6, who's bossing the league with the best team. Why wouldn't you? I mean, maybe they've tried, and he's like, nah, I'm not interested. You know? No long-term plans. Doesn't say like he wants to be in charge of, the national team or anything like that. Plays a 3-5-2. We'll have to see, because we won't be to the end of next season, and the first part of next episode, it'll take the next part. I'm curious if he gets a Continental Pro or something like that, and then takes a jump. I'd like to see him make a jump, but he, maybe he's like, I'm back at home. I made a ton of money playing in Europe. I'm good. Let's just see out the rest of my life with the Young Lions. I don't know. Paul Colombani is not dead yet. He's not dead yet. He's with Hold. I'm sorry. Someone at some point explained to me what the O meant, and then I've long forgotten it. He's on a contract until the end of the year, 425. Oh, let's go see. Okay, they signed him. Okay, so 1 year deal. 1 year deal. The 2041. Nothing happened. Okay, let's go check out the club. They are in the Post Nordligaen, the second division. Oh, isn't that the thing in Norway? There's 2 second divisions, so he's in one of them. Isn't that how it works? I'm remembering the Nordic Journeyman save. Semi-professional. How's he doing? 58% won. Has he found his level? Previous manager only won 39%. Previous manager that 27. Now that may be because no, it's not like they got relegated. Has he found his level? 7, 2, and 3. Not a large sample size, to be fair. But still, 58%, 7, 2, and 3. Okay, December 26th, 2041. Here we go. Okay, not a single game. So he has not influenced last year at all. But look at this. You lose to Mold, one of the big teams in one of the cups, okay? You lose to Konsvinger and to Alta IF, and the rest are wins and 2 draws. That's pretty solid. Currently second in the league. On 23 points with a game in hand. They could be top of this table, my friends. I think that's amazing. I mean, again, it's not the highest level, but you can't really complain. Can he keep it up? Now, that's going to be interesting. Will he be able to keep this up where they keep winning games? What if he was able to get them promoted? That'd be incredible. That would be incredible. We like to get him a Continental Pro and continue to develop. I would imagine if he could keep them on the current path, he gets an extension to the next level, and then we'll have to see how he handles it at the next level. He plays a 4-5-1 with the long ball. Interesting. And coaching style is fitness with a 9. Or he tends to do a lot of fitness. He wants the fittest team. He's playing the American style. Like, we're fit and we run at you. We're not very technical. But, all right. Let me know what you think about that. So this is how we end up, my friends. We're down to 6 managers. What happens next episode? Again, reminder from the very front part of this episode where I said, hey, let me know who you think the highest current and potential ability players were at the beginning part of the save. We will look at that at the very end of the last episode. This was what happened. If you weren't around for the previous time I did this, we had like a couple of the managers go like until they were 65. And that took a lot of vacationing. We'll start dropping leagues when we get to that point. But we will come back and look at that. And let me know what you think is going to happen with some of these moves. My big thing for next is, will Marcus From ever move away from Young Lions or take the manager the manager spot for the national team? And will Paul Colombani get his team, that I'm not going to try pronouncing again, promoted and stay with them? We'll find out next time. Have a good one. See you later.